Hi, I'm A.C.Strange and this is Bad Movie Show, episode 35, The Uninvited Guest Show. Or, you could call it the Home Invasion Show, but we thought that uninvited guests sounded a little friendlier, and it opens up the segment a little bit. Like, tonight's show, these three movies, it's the Home Invaders that should beware. Are you excited? I am. So let's get started, okay? First up, we have The Perfect Host, 2011, not rated Magnolia Pictures, written by Nick Tomnay and Krishna Jones, directed by Nick Tomnay, starring David Hyde Pierce from Frasier and Clayne Crawford. So John Taylor robs a bank and gets shot and is running, trying to find a place to lay low. And he talks Warwick Wilson into letting him in. Now, Warwick is getting ready for a dinner party. But he's a nice, classy, sophisticated man with a very, very beautiful house. So, after watching a clip on the news, finds out that John is actually on the run from the cops, and then he gets held, getting held hostage by John, until John drinks some of the wine, gets drugged, passes out, wakes up, and is tied to the chair, and finds out that he's Warwick's prisoner, and the party's in full swing. Now, this is not your typical party, and Warwick is not your typical host. In fact, Mr. Warwick Wilson is insane, and gets more and more twisted as the night goes on. And John gets more and more injured as he's repeatedly drugged throughout the night. So this is fantastic, twisted, and no matter what I say, you're not going to see this coming. This is awesome. David Hyde Pierce plays a really great, mild-mannered, but very psychotic man. He really puts his foot down in this movie, and I give this a 4 and a buy it. And if you don't intend to buy it, put it on your list. Definitely see this. And if Mr. David Hyde Pierce makes a horror movie, I'm there, dude. I'm there. His psycho is that good. His performance is that great. Watch that movie. Anyway, let's get going. Next, we have Blackmale, rated R, 1999. Artistry Home Entertainment, written by George Belushi, Mike Belushi, and Michael Del Fay. Directed by George and Mike Belushi. Starring Joaquin Woodbine, who we love, Roger Reeves, Justin Pierce, and Sasha Knopf. So Jimmy Best and his pal Luther are two do-dirt losers who basically are down on their luck, and during a bare-knuckle fight with Luther gets his ass kicked, they get in trouble with their loan shark, Victor, who wants his money, which is $12,000. So later that night, Jimmy goes to a topless bar to unwind and meets Dr. Bill Fontaine, a very classy, sophisticated, intelligent man who is obviously rich. And, they hang out for a while and part ways. Bill is on the way home and witnesses a girl getting thrown out of a car in the rain. He takes her home. Her name is Heather, and they start to get it on. And then somebody breaks into the house. It's Jimmy and Luther, and they got the whole thing on video, and they blackmail Dr. Bill Fontaine, and then say they want their money, which is $25,000. And after a long, violent night, Jimmy decides to go to the bank in the morning and take a big withdrawal from Dr. Fontaine's bank account. But what he doesn't know is that that bank account's already closed. And what's worse is when he finds the real Dr. Bill Fontaine and his wife chopped up into pieces in the trunk. So now the cops are after him, Victor is after him, and he's looking for his Dr. Bill Fontaine, who still has Heather. Now, no matter what I say, this gets so twisted. You're going to be like, oh, snap! Zip! And no matter how sexy Joaquin Woodbine looks here, in most of the movie he's dressed like an old lady. An ugly old lady, so But this is still great. This mild-mannered Dr. Psycho is even more psychotic than Warwick Wilson. But I'm going to give this a 3.5. And if you find it, buy it. But for everybody else, see it. Especially if you like Justin Pierce. You know, he was in a few movies, and he was really good in this. He plays Luther, so we give this a 3.5. Definitely put that one on your list, too. We like that one a lot. And we like Joaquin Woodbine a lot, so you're going to see more of his movies reviewed on the show. So last but not least, we have Real Killers. Not rated 1996 Alpine Home Entertainment. Screenplay by Dave Larson and Mike Mendez. Directed by Mike Mendez, starring Dave Larson, David Gunn, C.T. Miller, and Damian Hoffer. So in this, Odessa and Kyle James kills their parents on Christmas Eve. And years later, they escape from a maximum security prison and death row, by the way, and they're out loose in the rain looking for a place to lay low, and they find the home of the Ryan family, which is Charlie and Ray Ryan, the parents, and their daughters Jenny and Jamie. And so they go into the house, they make themselves very comfortable, they tie up Charlie the dad, and what surprises them is that the mom and the daughter Jamie are big fans of theirs and completely dig them. And then Odessa starts crushing hard on Ray and starts like, yeah, what's up, Ray? You and me, Ray. But after Odessa kills a neighbor and the cops hone in on them and where they are, they find out that the Ryan family could definitely take care of themselves, and it's the James boys that should beware. This is another one. Then no matter what I tell you, you can be like, Steph, I seen this over 10 years ago, and, you know, when I first saw it, I thought it was great. I watched it like 3 times in a row. Now I find it a little long-winded. You know, Odessa is a very, like, Mickey Rourke-like character and has long monologues, and he's very poetic, but he's super, super cool. And then there's this female cop she's horrible, but the story, I think, is great. That's the thing that gets me. And no matter how many times I see when the twist comes, I go, oh, Biff! Like, you know, I think that this is worth seeing. If you haven't seen it, put it on your list. I think this is hard to find, but if you can find it, I recommend seeing it. I'm going to give it a 4 and put it with the rest of my independent, low-budget favorites. I told you I liked Mike Mendez, and I'd get back to him, and here we go, Real Killers. I dig that a lot. Always have. And everybody that I've liked it, that I've shown it to, have liked it. There. So that's it for me tonight. What do you think? I think that home invasion movies are probably the scariest movies I've ever seen. These movies are a little more naughty and nasty and fun than horrifically scary, but we'll get to those movies later on. Okay? And you know any really creepy, uninvited guest movies? Please let me know. And until then, watch more movies. I'm A.C.Strange, and this is the Bad Movie Show. Good night.